things are starting to go wrong for the hijackers. The Algerian strategy is not to give way on a single point, but it's a dangerous policy, as they are soon to find out.
We are going to blow up the wall! We are going to blow up the plane and everyone in it! Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Armed terrorists have hijacked an Air France jet at Algiers airport. They want to leave for Paris, but the government won't let them. It's a stalemate, for the moment.
I'll say it one more time. Please remove the boarding stairs so that we can leave for Paris.
You think we are joking? We will show them!
The terrorists are about to send a message to the Algerian government. During the passport check, they've identified among the passengers an officer of the Algerian police.
Open the door, please. So please take our message to the government.
Few passengers are aware of the murder, nor are the pilots. The Algerian military maintain their hard line, so the terrorists are about to raise the stakes again. Another passenger must die.
When they came for the second passenger, we knew things were going wrong. This passenger, he was different. He was Vietnamese, a diplomat. He was the real foreigner on this plane.
The stewardess went back to the cabin and came back with a bottle of water and some glasses. She served us and whispered, "It's not one now, it's two."
138 of the passengers are Algerian citizens. The terrorists offer to release them, leaving only the French nationals on board. A gruesome indication, perhaps, of their final plan. However, the Algerian passengers refuse to leave. Until now, the terrorists haven't targeted any French citizens, but their time has come. 2 staff members of the French embassy are on board, a secretary and a young chef.
You two, we better off going back to your places.
The door-open warning light confirms that the terrorists have carried out their threat. The French government can no longer stand by and do nothing. Prime Minister Balladur gets on the phone and threatens his Algerian counterpart. After 2 days of terror and the death of 3 passengers, the Algerian authorities are allowing Flight 8969 to leave for France. The terrorists say they're going to hold a press conference there.
Before takeoff checklist completed.
At 3:30 in the morning on the 26th of December, the plane approaches Marseille airport. They're unaware that Major Denis Favier and his French special forces have got there ahead of them from Mallorca and are now planning a showdown. The French tactics will now be dictated by Major Favier. His plan is to wear the terrorists down. Whilst always appearing conciliatory, the French will spin out negotiations as long as possible. They know that Yahya and his men must be tired. The hijacking has now gone on for almost 2 days.
Air France 8969, we require immediate refueling.
27 tons!
27 tons.
The terrorists have learned from the flight crew that 27 tons of fuel will fill the tanks, far more than the 9 tons needed for the journey to Paris. It appears to confirm the intelligence report that the plane is to be used as a firebomb.
They say it's not possible, because of the killings.
The terrorists agree to a press conference aboard the plane. little realizing that it's all part of a clever plan.
Tactically, this press conference was important because it enabled us to get some of the passengers moved to the rear of the plane.
By now, the plane has been sitting on Marseille's taxiway for 12 hours. The French special forces know how many terrorists there are and where they are. It's believed the French special forces planted microphones on the fuselage of the plane. Now they're waiting for the sun to go down to take advantage of the dark.
They're up to something. We can't stay here.
I assure you, it's...
Captain, move the plane over there.
I promise you, we'll be...
Captain, move it right now. Do it. Move the plane over there where the other ones are.
We'll be fine. I promise.
Move the planes! Go over there where the other ones are! Do it! Do it!
Let's go. Start engines.
Captain Delem is forced to park right at the foot of the tower, close to the terminal and other flights. If they blow up the plane now, the casualties could be enormous.
Tell them it's too late now! There won't be a press conference. It's too late. It should have been done. Tell them to fill the tanks. We're leaving. They have until 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, we're taking off. Tell them, Captain, do it. I've had it. Do it.
Air France 8969.
Major Favier is having his men picked up as fast as possible to move to new positions. He puts snipers on the terminal roof, where they'll have a view of the cockpit. He only has a few minutes to set up his emergency plan, a cavalry charge of passenger boarding stairs. The cavalry charge is underway. This is actual footage of the attack.
There are 8 of us on the front right air stair. The first air stair gets to the aircraft. There's a small problem with the height, as it was a little bit higher than the door. The door hits the top of the air stair. A slight step back. The door opens. The air stair touches the plane, and the group goes in.
Then it's the apocalypse.
And then the group that has gone in comes under a deluge of fire from the terrorists who shoot at everyone who enters, an extremely murderous fire. There's not a moment's doubt about the nature of this gunfire. They are shooting to kill.
At the rear of the plane, the other 2 squads of Favier's men enter. Hundreds of bullets are whistling through the cabin. Grenades are exploding. There's smoke and confusion everywhere. The snipers on the terminal roof can see the terrorists in the cockpit, but frustratingly can't get a clear shot. The co-pilot is blocking their view. But that problem is about to be solved. Actual video footage shows the co-pilot, Jean-Paul Borderie, falling onto the hard concrete. Yet he still manages to stagger away to safety. It gives the snipers the chance they've been waiting for. At the rear of the cabin, the French Special Forces is evacuating the passengers through a hail of gunfire. Believably, only a few minutes after the assault began, most of the passengers have been rescued. By now, only 1 terrorist is left alive, but he's going down fighting. The French news footage captures amazing scenes of the battle. A GIGN man is blasted out of the plane by gunshots. The final surviving terrorist holds them at bay for almost 20 minutes, but his time and his ammunition are running out.
The flight engineer and I looked at each other. We knew exactly the situation we were in. As long as there were gunshots, we knew we could die. But once it stopped, or when we thought it had stopped, then we said, all right, it's over.
For 20 minutes, the gun battle has raged on board the crowded aircraft. Hundreds of shots have been fired, numerous grenades exploded. Yet all 173 passengers and crew have survived. Captain Delem himself escaped with bullet wounds to his right elbow and thigh. 9 of the 30 GIGN men have been wounded, 1 seriously. All the French special forces and the crew members received high national honors for their courage. It was a textbook mission, one of the most successful anti-terrorist operations ever carried out. But the traumatic experience will never leave the survivors. Later, a former leader of the Algerian terrorist groups, Omar Chiki, confirmed that the plan had been to blow up the plane over the Eiffel Tower, the symbol of the French nation. Hundreds might have been killed when the plane crashed down onto the crowded streets of Paris. They never tried again, and the world would forget this hijacking. Until 7 years later.
I went to do some shopping and I bumped into a friend who said, a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center. I went home and stayed sitting in front of the television for 24 hours. I couldn't move or eat or do anything. All those images came back to me, and I asked myself, is that what was supposed to happen to us?